and then I'll come right back to you, and you can click share. I would sure appreciate the share.
How do I do that?
So we're friends on Instagram. Can you find me on Facebook? If not, I'll send you the link afterward.
Let's see.
Or I'll send it to you now. Hold on, everybody. We're going to get there. There's only one of me.
Oh, are we live right now? We're doing.
Yeah,
trying to...
but it's okay because it only takes a second. And I'm going to send it to you on Instagram, Trevor. I didn't think this through, so.
You have too many friends on Facebook. I can't add you.
Yeah, that's another problem. I'm too popular.
Yeah, jinx.
I sent you the link.
Okay.
And you should be able to just put that on your Instagram or Facebook, wherever you want. While you're doing that, I'll do this little intro. And
okay.
You holler, come on. Yeah, you just holler when you're ready, or give me a heads up. Look straight in the camera. Facebook, hi. I know you're at home watching this, most likely after the fact. Who cares? You know, my followers don't get on here when I'm on here because they came on and they saw Linda can't multitask. She can't run an interview, be in the moment, and answer questions and let us talk to the guests and all that. Forget about it. You came to the wrong place if you want interactive. You're lucky I'm on here. So today, I'm so happy that I get to have you get to know a bright light in the Las Vegas comedy community. We'll get to that in a second. So Comic Spot is the little way that this little Gladys Kravitz, that's a throwback to the Bewitched show, the nosy little neighbor that wanted to check in on all the comics and make sure they were okay through the pandemic. That's me. I'm a Gladys Kravitz of comedy. I wanted to check in on everybody, and it turned into a thing. Everybody liked it. I made so many mistakes, and they still like it. So here I am, 825 interviews in, and today I get to introduce you to Trevor James. 1 second on that, but first, listen, when you have a sponsor, if they give you $1 or $1 million to support you, if you have a sponsor, you better give a nod to your sponsors. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm a proud military veteran. I know I look tough, don't I? Yes. But I have a sponsor named theveteransofcomedy.com. We'll See and Eric Knowles started the foundation, and their motto is to leave no laugh behind, and that's what they do. So if you ever want to throw some comedy work to people who have served our country, who are now serving up jokes to the military veterans and otherwise, just go to theveteransofcomedy.com and look at the videos and stop when you see mine and book me. No, just kidding. That's not fair. You got to be ethical. I take that back. Will, Eric, you didn't hear that. And now for today's show. Are you ready? Get ready, because when I take you on a ride, you know it's going to be bumpy. Today, we have this wonderful bright light in the Las Vegas comedy community, and he's also an actor, and he has an upcoming show going on here in Las Vegas that we're going to cover. I think it's going to be on the 15th, and the proceeds go to a very worthy cause, which I forgot, and we'll get into that in a minute. So let me welcome you to get to know, love, follow, and help this career of this budding superstar. You wait. If I had money, I would put all my money on him. You know, like when you go to the races, most people play it safe with a trifecta, you know, first, second, and third. I wouldn't do that. I'd just put all my money on Trevor James. Why would I do that? He's a star. He has star quality just oozing out of him. Wait until you get to know him. Let's find out what he's all about. What made him this wonderful? We can't imagine. We could sit all day and go and not figure it out. So now's your chance. He's sitting there wondering when this old lady's going to quit rambling and let him talk. So let's do it right now. Welcome to Comic Spot, Trevor James. Woo!
Well, thank you, Linda. That was a very lovely introduction. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. A very unique introduction it is.
Very lovely.
I never do two of them the same.
Oh yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah. That's the superpower of a brain injury. What am I gonna say?
That's a unique way of putting it.
Yeah. Well, Trevor James, you're in the comedy community here. You're knee deep in it. You're rising. You're getting spots. You're getting the laughs. You're being friendly and nice and staying away from drama, so much as I can tell. And so I just want to get to know you, and I want my people to know, hey, this is one of the good guys.
Oh.
And, they can get to know you before you become so famous. They'll say, Bill Burr, who? That thing.
That'd be great.
So you live here in Vegas and you made it through a pandemic. Talk to us about making it through a pandemic in Vegas, where you're from. Talk a little.
Okay. I moved to Vegas about 5 years ago from California. I moved here after college, and 3 years of pre-pandemic, and then the pandemic right now. I actually had a great time during pandemic. Not gonna lie, the pandemic was a good time for me. I had a good time not working, and I had a great girlfriend, and it was I had a good time. So don't want to come back. No more lockdowns. But I honestly, I can't. Like, I'm one of the very few fortunate people who had a good time during lockdown. And since then, I've just been trying to get on stage as much as I can to make up for lost times. And it's been going really well. I've never done comedy anywhere else, but it seems like Las Vegas is really helpful and really nice to get a lot of spots and stage time. So I'm really grateful to have landed here kind of by accident, and it's worked out really well, I think.
Tell me about the accident that landed you here near Area 51.
I used to play tennis. I played college tennis. It was my life school. I played professional tennis, and I came here to play tennis and then go then play professional tennis, and also as I met a girl. But then it's supposed to be a month, and then go to Egypt and play professional tennis. And then after a month, I decided I'm not leaving, and then I quit tennis, and I dated the girl for a while longer, and then it's been 5 years later, and I no regrets.
Now, in the tennis world, have you ever heard of or met Cash Hanslick, a young kid out of Oregon?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, his dad and I dated.
Oh.
For like 3 nights.
Oh, long-term relationship. Okay. Long-term relationship. Okay.
Almost went to marriage. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do in Oregon. 3 nights max.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's a budding superstar in.
Okay.
So you were playing tennis for like how many years, and what led you to comedy? Because that you kind of explained landing here near Area 51, but what made you go from, like, not a lot of people go from serving tennis balls to serving jokes. So
yeah, I played tennis. My family kind of played a little bit just for fun, and then my brother played. He played Division III college, and I started around 10, and I was obsessed until I was about 23. And I always really liked comedy. I apparently, when I was born, my dad put Seinfeld on as the first show I ever saw, like right afterwards, which my mom did not approve of. But she still hates that show to today. She still hates that show. But I think I used to watch Seinfeld like 4 or 5 times a day with my dad, and I think just it was always just imprinted on me. And I always knew that if I ever, whenever I was done with tennis, however good I got, I would want to pursue comedy and acting. And so when the time came to quit tennis, I quit, and then I kind of messed around for a year, kind of just did nothing. But then after about a year of doing nothing, I started looking to stand up and acting, and it's been about 3 years now, or 2 years about 3 years acting, about 2 years stand-up.
Fabulous. So where are you from, and what originally? Where'd you grow up, and what college are you speaking of that you went to?
I'm from San Jose, California, and I don't like going back there anymore. Compared to Vegas, it's boring. So I don't go back too often. And then I went to the University of Arizona. I played
Wow.
tennis for them.
So the University of Arizona in Arizona.
Yes, in
They didn't
Arizona.
have
Yeah.
like a satellite thing in San Jose for bored people.
No, they did not. They should offer that though. It'd liven the place up.
Yeah, because there's nothing there but money. No.
Yeah, it's money, and I think the 9 to 5 work culture really sets a certain tone for people, and I don't care for that. I like the people in Vegas. People in Vegas seem much more like relaxed or just more open-minded, and I like just the culture here much better than in San Jose. And the air here in Vegas is like much more polluted, like much more smog, and I like that better. It's too clean air in San Jose. I don't like the clean air in San Jose. I like being near the casinos where you can either like win your life savings or throw it all away in like 5 minutes. I like that, living on that duality of man.
Yes. Well, if you get sick of the smog, you go in the casino and smell smoke.
That's right. And that
Yes.
fresh oxygen they pumped in there.
If you get sick of the slots, you go on the street for the sluts.
You got everything.
It, up and
Why would you
down.
want to leave?
We could do this all day, this
We could.
banter thing. We're playing off each other real well. So you decided that you do comedy. And when was, like, did you get training? Did you you watched enough of it that you just came up with material? How did it go to where you felt confident? How did your first time go? And you said off screen, you said you have 10 minutes of comedy. Talk to me about that whole blossoming to
Sure.
where you are.
I was very lucky when I first got here, or when I first started looking to comedies. I didn't know where to start. So I Googled stand-up comedy classes in Las Vegas. And I found Don Barnhart, who is just a gem in the comedy community. He's very helpful and very giving. And he's offering seminars or classes. And I started doing those. And he really taught me a lot about, how to get started, what to do, what don't to do. Didn't really work so much on joke structure. I'm naturally a decent writer, so I had a good starting point. But he taught me a lot about how to perform, or just how to get he taught me so much. I was very lucky to have him as a teacher when I first started, and then my first time going on stage, it was shocking. Not so much for me, but for the audience, because so often a young comedian will like kind of mimic their favorite comedians, right? And my favorite comedian at the time was Anthony Jeselnik. And if you know him, he's a very one-liners, very dark. So I wrote all these short, dark jokes, and I had a great time saying them, but some people were a little upset. And I stand by those jokes. They're solid jokes. I'm gonna do a few tonight. Actually, you'll see tonight. And at the show, all my shows, I found a way to do them now that's not so heavy. But when I first started, I was doing it like monotone. I sound like a serial killer. It's crazy. So from there, Don suggested maybe I try to find some more palatable material, things that don't necessarily make people leave. Is how he said it, I think. But so now I went really vanilla for a while. Like I started talking about very vanilla subjects, trying to find that balance. And then that wasn't as much fun also, and it wasn't doing great. And then a few weeks ago, I was doing that material, and I saw Ty just crush it at Wise Guys, just crush it. And I said, my set sucks. So I threw all that away. And then I started rewriting a few weeks ago, and I found a solid 10 minutes of like, not the super dark stuff, but not this vanilla material. And it's a nice balance. And I'm really happy with it right now.
The set I heard at Wise Guys last night was fire. I'm telling you, I mean it. I always said, man, if he finds some material that is his material, that like, I just felt like you were doing material, and the crowd was like maybe not on board with the topics. I don't know. And I still knew that you're a star. When you get the right material, you're going to outshine so many people because you got star quality and you're all written all over you.
Well,
So
thank you.
staying humble is going to be the hard thing because the career will come. So talk to me about the acting. That's
Sure.
an interesting thing. I mean, like I'd be lucky if anybody wanted me to do an infomercial on how to keep my dentures in my mouth. I'm not trying
You're
to
doing a good
become
job.
an
You're doing
I'm
a good
not
job. I
trying to
don't know.
become I'm not trying to become an actor by asking this question. I really want to know about your acting career.
Sure. So like I was saying, Seinfeld was like my life growing up, and he wrote the show, and he acted in it, and then he did stand up. I think not during the show so much, but like after and before, of course. And I guess that's my dream. I want to write and be on my own show, and then still do stand up as well. But I really like the idea of I love writing, and I like the spotlight. So let me write and be on my own show. So I figure that the two will go hand in hand. So I work on acting just as much as I work on stand up. I'm a part of the best school in Las Vegas, DK acting class.
What's the name of it?
DK acting class in Vegas. I actually work there, and it's been great. Teacher Dean Kraling is the best teacher around, and he's really awesome. And if you're looking to be an actor, a serious one, definitely check out our school.
Do they ever get parts for dental fixtures?
You know what? I think we had 14 last month.
Okay.
So I
I
think
might be
maybe,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they're looking for an old, really sexy lady, and
Yeah.
I always get rejected, so I quit. I can't handle the personal rejection. If you don't like
Mhm.
my jokes, fine, but you don't get to reject me.
Really? That's so funny, because I feel the opposite way. So
Really?
when I first started acting, I wasn't nervous at all. Like if I suck, that's the character. That's not me. But with stand up, I felt so much more nervous because like that's me. I wrote these jokes. Like it's much more personal for me to stand up. So I felt much more nervous doing stand up as opposed to like acting.
Wow. So have you done improv as well as acting? How do you feel about improv for stand-up?
I think it's from my understanding, it's really helpful, right? It gets you quick thinking. I did the level one intro class here from Theater Hub a while ago, and it wasn't my thing. So I did like the one course and that was it. But I think almost at least half of all comedians will say that they've done stand up or improv for a long time or however long, and it seems really helpful. So I think you should get as much time being creative as you can. You know.
Yeah. So what is your like what do you consider to be your strengths in stand up? Like, so let's go through a few choices. Like there's crowd work,
Mhm.
there's segues, setups, strong punchlines. You already mentioned you're a really strong writer, so you don't get to say that twice. No fair cheating.
Well,
What are
actually,
your
well, hold on. I said I thought I was a strong writer, and then I initially for not starting out, I think I was a strong writer. Now I see there's so many good comedians in Vegas. I no longer think that. I think I'm an adequate writer. I don't know what my strengths are. I'm still like really foreign to it, I think. I think even who I am on stage the last couple of weeks has been night and day from a few months to a year ago. It's actually really funny. When we saw Maria Bamford that Saturday, which is awesome, she was so inspiring to me because she was so good, but she was so committed to what she was saying. And I swear, since then, I've become such a more confident performer because I saw her do it and I learned so much. So even from a few weeks ago, I feel like I'm much different. So I think I'm still finding what I'm good at. I'm not quite sure yet.
what was your favorite thing that Maria Bamford did?
It was just her stage presence. She was just so alluring. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There were a few times she was talking about things I didn't know what she was talking about, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. And then she got back to. She was just great. I was blown away by how good she was.
You know what
Uh,
my favorite part was?
Tell me.
Because this is all about me right now. Like
No,
you
no,
thought
I
this
want to
was
know.
your interview. No, that was a ruse. No, my favorite part was the way that she uses anything for a punchline besides a punchline.
Mm-hmm.
Just the most wackadoo. She just like she don't care if she makes up something, says door handle for a punchline. She doesn't
Yeah,
care. She can
yeah.
get a
No,
little.
she knows how to make it funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really like that.
yeah, she's exceptional. I wish I could have seen her like twice. Do you see her every time?
No, the first time I've ever seen her, my comedy coach in New York says that I'm like Maria Bamford in that I'm wacky as all get out, except she uses a cuss word. So she says, you really need to study Maria Bamford. And I'm like, well, why doesn't Maria study me? I think, and I'm kidding.
Push it around.
I started studying her and I was like, dang it, I like her. But she's
Yeah,
not like me. She's only like me in that it gives me freedom to be more wacky.
yeah, exactly.
So it has loosened me up in the last couple weeks to just not give a rip.
Yeah, yeah. When you commit enough to the bit, I think it'll take care of itself. You know. And she was so committed. It was so interesting because she's talking. Sometimes her hand will shake sometimes, right? But when she did a character who wasn't herself, her hand didn't shake. She was so committed to the character. She didn't have any of her tremors or her physical issues. She was just fantastic.
Yeah, that was so disconcerting, to see that I did not know she had tremors. And I know
Mhm.
she has some kind of unnatural curvature of the spine going on where she's pretty hunched over. Did you
Mhm.
notice that?
I didn't see that quite as much. No.
Yeah, so I had no idea, and I was sitting there going, I wish she would talk about that and get that out of the way, like make a joke about it and then go
Yeah.
into her stuff. If you see me going like this or something,
Yeah.
but she covered it later on.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, this isn't about Maria Bamford, it's about you,
Well, I wish it
Trevor
could
James.
be. I keep going on.
So who is Trevor James aside from your accomplishments, getting on a lot of spots here in Vegas? Who are you in life? You have a girlfriend. What are your
I
what are you
don't have a
passionate?
girlfriend.
Huh?
I don't have a girlfriend.
Okay, well, you're gonna soon, I'm sure, but you're out in front of women that come to comedy clubs and they love men that are funny, so that it'll happen. But like, what are you passionate about in the world, and what are you passionate against, without talking politics, religion, or God forbid another conspiracy theory in Vegas?
Oh, but there's so many fun ones. There's so many fun ones.
Okay, I'll let you talk about
Mm,
fun ones.
Okay, here's the thing. The sun, or not the sun, the earth is flat, all right? But it's this way. It's not this way. The earth is flat this way, all right? I have proof. Um, who am I? Deep cutting question. I don't know. I guess something off the top of my head that I believe in. Uh, very stereotypical for me bringing it up, but I'm vegan,
You
and
are.
I'm vegan, so I have to say it. And yeah, I mean, that's just something I did a few years ago, and so I guess I believe in that, and I believe against animal cruelty.
Got it.
I
And
believe.
that's being against animal cruelty is what led you to become a vegan.
That was one aspect, yes. So there's like three main reasons someone goes vegan. I'm sure there's a few more, but three main ones. One is like ethics. Number two is like environmental impact, and number three is health. And one and two are there. Health is like way down there. I don't even consider health a reason for me. I don't care. Like health is way down there for me. That's how it is for a lot of people. Like I don't care about the health, but ethical, environmental impacts for sure.
Got it. Well, you're definitely explaining what a baby boomer is not. So if anybody wants to know what is a baby boomer, it's just take it up and turn it upside down. We only care about ourselves, not the environment.
Well, the thing is, this generation's the same way. So I think it's unfair to put it all on because we could be doing more like the younger generation. So it's so easy to pass the buck. I saw my dad a little while ago. you're drinking a little bit, and he goes, "Man, you guys really gotta do something about the environment. It's all messed up." And I was like, "Us? It was you. You do something." And he's like, "Ugh." So I totally get that desire to you guys do it. It's so funny to me. I'm like, he's like telling me to do it. I'm like, you do it. You're still around. You're still
Totally.
spry. You do something.
It's crazy. You mentioned that the young people are a lot like the baby boomers, and I was talking with she runs a brand new mic or show, Liz Hayter.
Oh yeah.
I was talking with her. I went to a comedy writing thing over at Angie Crumbs, and I walked in and she said, "Does anybody have any chocolate?" That's the first thing I heard when I walked into this thing. And I was
Okay.
like, these people don't want the old lady showing up. They're wondering if I'm a narc. And so, or whatever. And I show up and she goes, "Does anybody have any chocolate?" And then she started like complaining. My back hurts, my legs hurt. I'm feeling so old. I'm tired. I'm like, "You sound like you're a baby boomer." She said, "This is how we all talk." And I realized
Yeah.
young people are sounding like baby boomers.
Well, I think what it is, we've learned earlier than you guys. It's so fun to complain. It's so fun to complain. Why wait till you're old to complain? Complain about everything all the time. Why not? Someone's gonna stop you.
Young people go on stage and go, "So I'm 24 and I'm getting older and my hips hurt." I'm like, "Oh, please, you have
Yeah.
nothing on me. Stop it. Stop it already." Wait until I get on stage. Yeah, I want to get on there and go, "Oh no, you don't even know the half of
Do
it."
it. We can coordinate. I'll go on stage before you and I'll just rip into being 27. And then you can go and you just rip into me afterwards.
Yeah, that would be so cool. And
Yeah.
then the next time we'll do it the opposite way.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just keep rotating, and then people will quit showing up where we're performing.
Good.
That's
Even better.
it. That's how you get rid of competition.
Yeah.
What have you enjoyed in the Las Vegas comedy scene?
I really enjoyed, I guess, I've made a lot of friends recently. I feel like when I first started doing comedy, it was about 3 years ago. I did it for like a few months, took a break for like 8 months, did it for like 6 months. Then the pandemic happened, so didn't do it again. And this is the first like full year I really like pursued it since about last November. So about a full year really, really trying. And I've made a lot more friends this round. I feel like when I first started, it was a bit clickier. It seemed like it was so clicky, the community, but now it's definitely less that way. And I have a lot of friends who are comedians. You interviewed AJ Rivera a few weeks ago, a good friend of mine. We went on a road trip a few weeks ago. That was awesome. And
Nice.
definitely the friends. I think I've made a lot more friends than I was expecting to.
I think that, all of us almost being extinguished in the last couple of years maybe has touched people to be kinder to each other too.
Maybe.
And then we get touched every once in a while by people committing suicide or getting killed on the road, and that brings us to really appreciate each other in this comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. If we can find some light out of that darkness, it'd be great.
Yeah. So you've brag a little bit so people know where you've performed. So do you want to cover some of the places that you're so happy you've gotten to perform on and where you're looking forward to performing?
Sure. I've been lucky to perform at Delirious Comedy Club downtown and Jokesters, which is on hiatus right now, but I'm sure it'll come back soon. And then on this Tuesday, I'm going to be doing Sean Fitzsimmons' show, Artifice, Fitzy and Friends. I'm super excited about that. That's this Tuesday. And then the show I'm producing is on January 15th. And it's going to be the historic Eagle Lodge. It's behind downtown. And like I said, all the money is going to proceed the Las Vegas Animal Foundation.
So wonderful. Now, what makes you care about the Animal Foundation?
They provide services to stray animals or any animals that need veterinary attention who can't afford it, who don't have access to that. And it's a good cause, and I like to help them out. And I know how expensive vet bills can be.
Yes.
I had a girlfriend who had a dog, and the dog is so unlucky. This dog, so unlucky. You couldn't believe it. I feel like I was taking this dog to the vet every other week. And she was healthy and she was happy, but she kept getting hurt or something. It was crazy. And it was just outrageously expensive, like how much the vet bills were. And, I just would like to help. So.
That's wonderful. The dog that was unlucky, did you call the dog Murphy from Murphy's Law?
No, but I should have. But she still wouldn't come to me either way, I bet, if I called her actual name. Or
what kind of dog was it?
She was a pit bull.
Oh, wow. I love pit bulls.
Oh, yeah, she's beautiful. She's great.
They can be the most loving animals ever. People are.
Oh, yeah. They have so much
prejudiced.
personality. They're really smart. They're really funny, pit bulls.
Yeah. The other animal, I love beagle. I had a beagle for 15 years.
Ooh. They seem like good companions.
They
just like kind of chill with you. And
once you get him past the baby stage, like he would bury my shoes in the backyard, and then I'd mow the lawn and my shoes would go flying in the air.
Oh.
Stuff like that. He would bark obsessively at moms with strollers and police people.
Okay. I can see that. What was his name?
Murphy, because of Murphy's Law.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So now you've done some shows, and you've got this show, you're producing a show already. Mm-hmm. So what's that process? What has that taught you so far?
Very, very early process. This is the first time I'm really announcing it, actually.
Wow, thank you for that.
Yes, live debut. Yeah, very early process. I know a bit about it because my acting school has put on a production or two. So I've seen behind the scenes how, set up lights and everything, and just advertising, stuff like that. But I'm very new to it. I'm sure I'll do a very adequate job. I'm sure we'll all show up on time and people will be there, I hope, but I don't know. Other than that, I can't promise much. The show's also free. We're taking donations, so it's donation-based show. There's no ticket cost. So
please send me the flyer link and all that so I can promote it.
Absolutely.
And if I'm free on the 15th, I'll come by to support. I will be there to help support this, support you and support the cause.
Thank you. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. So what would you like to say that I haven't asked about? I'm nosy. I asked a few questions about your life, acting, comedy, producing, what you're going to be doing. What do you want to say to people before we cut out?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have advice, maybe how people can be kinder specifically, or how people can make it through a pandemic, or how any inspiration you want to give to the world? You're young, but you still have seen things, and maybe something that you've seen can inspire others.
I should have a good answer because I studied philosophy in college.
Oh, so there we go.
You have a good answer for this, right?
Yeah.
I guess I would say that it's very hard for people to see outside themselves. It's very difficult. There's a creator who said it, but it's basically impossible to change someone's mind. Like if someone has an opinion, you can't change it. They have to change it themselves. So you can spew facts at them. You can, talk at them. You can be, you have to have them come to that realization. Real inception move. So it's really hard to see outside of yourself. So I think if people could remember that, they just know that, hey, it's really difficult. Like it's just hard to do it for anybody. They might be closer to being able to, just knowing that it's hard to do that might make you feel better about trying to do so. So if you're in a situation where you're butting heads with someone, there's a fire situation, just do your best, try to take a step back and see what everyone else is seeing, I guess.
I like that. I like that a lot. Well, where do you want people to follow you on such a trite question? Where do you want people to follow you, Trevor James, on social media?
Social media, yeah. Trevor James on Facebook or Trevor F. James on Instagram. Trevor F. James. That will be me. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And your life goal before you get old. I'm not old yet, so you got a long ways to go. I'm almost old. When you get old,
Mhm.
and kick the bucket like I'm gonna do faster than
Okay.
you, what do you want on your tombstone, or what do you want people? How bad do you want them to cry at your funeral? What do you want them to
Ooh.
say?
Hmm. Hmm. I
This could
think
be a whole bit. This could turn into your new bit.
this could be a new bit. Seriously, I think of my own death lately and how much people should cry at it. Um, I think by the time I die, I will probably just want people to forget me. You had enough of me. You had like hopefully like 80, 90 years. Just move on already. Like like Trevor James, he did some TV shows and stuff, and he had some jokes that were okay. And just have a party and then have a big party. Like I don't want like have a big party. I want my casket there though. I want an open casket, but like a big party. So real contrast there. So that's really all I want is a big party with an open casket, and that's it. That's all I want.
I love it. I love it a lot. And I love you. You're awesome. I
Oh,
can't wait
thank
to
you,
hear
Linda.
you.
You're awesome.
Thank you. I can't wait to hear your comedy again tonight. I know you're a blossoming superstar, and I'm there behind you, promoting you in any way. Now that you are like Sinbad, do you know who Sinbad is?
I haven't seen much of his comedy. I know who he is.
Well, Sinbad is like a legend in the clean comedy top of the line circuit. And he's been around like close to 50 years. And he had a stroke and a brain bleed. So that's why I said past tense, because he's
Hmm.
not presently doing comedy. But he graduated from the School of Comic Spot Interviews.
Really?
And so you have two now. So now that you're on par with Sinbad, you get to come back anytime you want and promote anything. So
Oh,
anytime you
thank
say,
you.
Linda, let me come on for 5 or 10 and plug something, you got it.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. I'll see you tonight at the Ochatai restaurant, Mike, that AJ Rivera does.
Mhm.
And once in a while, we're lucky and get Ty Rivera to be there, but not today. He's got something in New
Oh,
Orleans.
really?
Yeah, he's got
Oh,
some
that's too bad.
excuse about New Orleans. I'm
Yeah,
not buying it.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it. Yeah.
Well, thank
Well,
you, Linda. You're so lovely. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. I love you lots. See you
Love you.
tonight, Trevor
Bye
James.
bye.
Bye.